You know that question every unmarried woman over 25 dreads? The one that gets asked at every family gathering, every wedding, every holiday dinner? So when's your turn? Yeah, that one. Well, my mother asked me that question in front of 300 people at my cousin's wedding reception. And what I said back? Let's just say nobody in my family has asked me that question since. My name's Priya, I'm 32 years old, and I'm single. Happily single. Intentionally single. Successfully single. But my family? They don't see it that way. They see a problem that needs fixing. A daughter who's running out of time. A woman who's made questionable life choices by prioritizing her career over marriage. And my mother has made it her personal mission to remind me of this at every possible opportunity. Let me paint you a picture of my life. I'm a cardiac surgeon. I finished medical school at 26, completed my residency at 31, and just finished my fellowship 3 months ago. I'm now an attending surgeon at one of the best hospitals in the country. I work 70-hour weeks. I save lives. Literally. Just last week, I performed a complex valve replacement on a 54-year-old father of 3. He went home to his family. Because of me, I make $380,000 a year. I own my own condo. I have zero debt. I travel when I want. I have amazing friends. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm happy. But according to my family, I'm incomplete because I don't have a husband. My mother has been on my case about marriage since I turned 28. She sends me profiles of suitable boys weekly. She coincidentally invites single men to family dinners. She brings up my unmarried status at every opportunity. Priya's too focused on work. Priya's being too picky. Priya doesn't understand that women have an expiration date. That last one, she actually said that to me. At Thanksgiving, in front of my grandmother. I've tried everything. Polite deflection, firm boundaries, direct conversations. Nothing works. In my mother's mind, my life doesn't count until there's a man in it. And then came my cousin Mira's wedding. Mira's 26. Sweet girl. Marrying her college boyfriend. The whole family was excited. Big traditional wedding. 300 guests. The works. I was happy for her. Genuinely. I even took time off work, which is rare for me, to be there for the whole wedding weekend. But I knew what was coming. I knew my mother would use this wedding as ammunition. Another cousin married. Another reminder that I'm behind. The wedding ceremony was beautiful. I cried during the vows. I meant it when I congratulated Mira and her new husband. Then came the reception. Everything was going fine until the speeches started. My uncle gave a touching father of the bride speech. Mira's new mother-in-law welcomed her to the family. A few friends shared funny stories. And then my mother stood up. I didn't know she was planning to speak. She hadn't mentioned it. But there she was, microphone in hand, smiling at the crowd. I just want to say a few words, she began. Watching Mira get married today brings me so much joy. She's such a beautiful bride. And she's starting her life journey at the perfect age. I felt my stomach drop. I knew where this was going. You know, when I was Mira's age, I was already married with a baby on the way. She laughed. The crowd chuckled politely. Times were different then. We understood that a woman's priority was family, marriage, children. Oh God. But today, young women have so many distractions. Careers, independence. They think they have all the time in the world. She paused. They don't. The room had gotten very quiet. People were shifting uncomfortably. Some were looking at me. My mother continued. I have 3 daughters. 2 of them understood this. They're married. They have children. They're settled. To everyone in this room who's ever questioned my choices, who's ever felt sorry for me, who's ever thought I was somehow less than because I'm unmarried, let me be clear. I don't need your pity. I don't need your concern. And I definitely don't need your timeline for my life. I'm 32 years old. I'm a cardiac surgeon. I make more money than most people in this room. I own my own home. I have a career I'm passionate about. I have a life full of purpose and meaning. I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. So when's my turn? My turn is now. It's been now for years. And it will continue to be now because I'm living MY life on MY terms. I looked back at my mother. Her face was pale. Shocked. You wanted to know when I'm going to make you proud, Mom. I've been making myself proud for a decade. I've been making my patients proud. I've been making my colleagues proud. I've been making a difference in the world. If that's not enough for you, that's your problem. Not mine. I handed the microphone back to her. Congratulations to Mira and her husband. I wish them all the happiness in the world. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a shift at the hospital tomorrow. Lives to save. You know, the important stuff. I walked out of that reception hall with my head held high. I didn't storm out. I didn't slam doors. I just left. Calmly. Confidently. I went home. Changed into comfortable clothes. Ordered takeout. Watched a movie. Went to bed at a reasonable hour, so I'd be rested for my shift. And I slept better than I had in years. My phone exploded overnight. Texts. Calls. Voicemails. Half my family was horrified. How could you embarrass your mother like that? That was so disrespectful. You ruined Mira's wedding. The other half was supportive. My younger cousins were sending me messages like, "That was amazing," and "You're my hero." My Aunt Kavita called to say, "I've been waiting for someone to say that for 20 years. Thank you." Even Mira texted me, "Priya, you didn't ruin anything. That was the most honest thing anyone said at any wedding I've been to. Thank you for standing up for yourself." My mother didn't contact me for 2 weeks. When she finally did, it was through a text. "We need to talk." We met for coffee. Neutral territory. She looked tired, older somehow. "You humiliated me," she said without preamble. "You humiliated me first," I replied calmly. "In front of 300 people. You used your speech at Mira's wedding to shame me about my life choices. I wasn't shaming you. Yes, you were. You told an entire room full of people that my career doesn't matter, that I'm running out of time, that I'm not doing what women are supposed to do. How is that not shaming?" She was quiet for a moment. "I worry about you." "Why?" "I'm successful. I'm happy. I'm healthy. What exactly are you worried about?" "That you'll end up alone." "I'm not alone, Mom. I have a rich, full life. Just because it doesn't include a husband doesn't mean it's empty." "But don't you want love? Partnership? Children? Maybe someday, if I meet the right person. But I'm not going to force it just to meet your timeline. And I'm definitely not going to sacrifice my career, which I worked incredibly hard for, just to check boxes on someone else's list of what my life should look like." She stirred her coffee. "I just want it better for you. Better than being a cardiac surgeon. Better than saving lives. Better than financial independence and career success. Mom, what exactly is better than that? A family. Someone to come home to. And what if I'm happy coming home to myself? What if I like my life exactly as it is? Why can't that be enough?" She didn't have an answer for that. We finished our coffee in uncomfortable silence. As we were leaving, she said, "Your father and I raised you to be independent. I suppose I can't be surprised that you are." It wasn't an apology, but it was something. That was 6 weeks ago. My mother hasn't sent me any more suitable boy profiles. She hasn't brought up my marriage status at family dinners. She actually asked about my work last week, really asked, like she was genuinely interested. It's not perfect. I don't know if it ever will be. But there's a shift, a recognition, maybe, that I'm not going to cave to pressure. That my life is mine to live. Here it comes. But my oldest daughter, she looked directly at me. Priya is 32 years old, a doctor, very successful, very proud of her career. The way she said proud sounded like an insult, but she's alone. No husband, no children, no family of her own. And I worry about her, because she's running out of time. 300 people were staring at me now. "So Priya," my mother smiled. "When's your turn? When are you going to stop playing doctor and start focusing on what really matters? When are you going to give me grandchildren? When are you going to make me proud by doing what women are supposed to do?" The room was dead silent. Every eye was on me, waiting. Some people looked sympathetic. Some looked curious. Some looked like they agreed with my mother. And I felt something inside me just snap. I'd been patient. I'd been respectful. I'd endured years of this pressure, this judgment, this constant message that my life, my incredible, hard-earned, successful life, didn't matter because I wasn't married. I was done. I stood up, walked to where my mother was standing, and gently took the microphone from her hand. "You want to know when it's my turn?" I said calmly. "Let me answer that. Before I tell you what I said next, drop a comment. Have you ever been pressured about marriage or kids by family? Where are you watching from? I want to hear your stories because I know I'm not alone in this. I turned to face the crowd. 300 people. Family. Friends. Strangers. My turn happened when I was 22 years old. I began. That's when I got accepted to medical school. When I decided that my life would be dedicated to saving others. My turn happened when I was 26, and I held a human heart in my hands for the first time during surgery. When I realized I had the power to give people more years with their families. My turn happened when I was 29 and I worked a 36-hour shift because we had a multi-car accident and I was the only cardiac surgeon available. I saved 4 lives that night. 4 people went home to their families because of me. The room was absolutely silent. My turn happened 3 months ago when I finished my fellowship and became an attending physician at one of the top hospitals in the country. When I achieved a dream I'd been working toward for a decade. My turn happened last Tuesday when I performed surgery on a 54-year-old man with 3 kids and 2 grandchildren. His heart was failing. I replaced his valve. He's going home next week. He'll get to walk his daughter down the aisle next year because I gave him that chance. I looked at my mother. So you asked when it's my turn. Mom, I've had so many turns. I've had an incredible life full of purpose and meaning and achievement. I've saved over 200 lives in my career so far. 200 people are alive right now because of my hands, my brain, my dedication. You said I'm playing doctor. I'm not playing anything. I am a doctor. A damn good one. And what I do matters. It matters to the patients I save. It matters to their families. It matters to the world. My voice was stronger now. You said I'm alone. I'm not alone. I have colleagues who respect me, friends who love me, patients who are grateful to me, a community I've built through my work and my passions. I'm surrounded by people who value me for who I am, not for my marital status. You said I have no family of my own. Every patient I save gets to go home to their family. Every surgery I perform gives someone more time with the people they love. I'm creating families every single day by keeping parents alive for their children, grandparents alive for their grandchildren, spouses alive for their partners. You asked when I'm going to stop being a doctor and focus on what really matters. I paused. What I do, I guess what really matters. Saving lives matters. Being excellent at my profession matters. Using my gifts to make the world better matters. The room was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. You said I need to do what women are supposed to do. Well, Mom, I am doing what women are supposed to do. Women are supposed to pursue their dreams. Women are supposed to use their talents. Women are supposed to make their own choices about their own lives. I'm not incomplete because I'm not married. I'm not failing because I don't have children. I'm not less valuable because I chose a different path than you wanted for me. I looked out at the crowd, at all those faces, at my relatives who'd been judging me for years, at the aunties who'd whispered about me, at the cousins who'd felt superior because they'd settled down. The rest of my family has backed off too. Nobody asks me about marriage anymore. Some of them avoid the topic entirely. Some of them ask about my surgeries instead. And my younger cousins, they reach out to me now, ask for advice, tell me I inspired them to pursue their own dreams instead of just following the expected path. That means more to me than my mother's approval ever could. Here's what I want people to understand. There is no right timeline for life. Not for marriage. Not for kids. Not for career. Not for anything. Your life is yours to design however you want. If you want marriage and children, that's beautiful. Pursue it. Celebrate it. If you want career and independence, that's equally beautiful. Pursue it. Celebrate it. If you want both, or neither, or something in between, it's all valid. It's all worthy. It's all enough. Don't let anyone, not your parents, not your family, not society, make you feel incomplete because your life looks different than theirs. I'm a cardiac surgeon. I save lives. I'm excellent at what I do. I've worked harder than most people can imagine to get where I am. And I'm tired of being made to feel like that doesn't count because I'm not married. So when my mother asked, "When's your turn?" in front of 300 people, I told her the truth. My turn is happening every single day I wake up and live my life with purpose and intention. I'm Priya. I'm 32 years old. I'm a cardiac surgeon. And I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. My mother wanted me to prioritize marriage over career, to focus on family over profession, to value relationships over achievement. But here's what she didn't understand. I do have a family. 200 patients who are alive because of me. Thousands of family members who got more time with their loved ones because I was good at my job. That's my legacy. That's my contribution. That's my turn. And nobody, not even my mother, gets to tell me it's not enough. The room went silent when I spoke that day because I said what so many women have been thinking for years but were too afraid to say. That we're enough exactly as we are. That our choices are valid. That our lives matter regardless of our relationship status. I didn't silence that room with anger or disrespect. I silenced it with truth. And sometimes, truth is the most powerful thing you can speak.